What I'm going to do is show you how we made the earrings that we made, and other people may make them different, but I'm just going to show you the process we use. And everything that I'm showing you is very simple. You don't need a sewing machine to make these. You can do some stitching on your earrings if you like. We have a pair here, and one of our young interns, she was a high school student at the time, but she made these earrings, and she put these double layers of overlay and stitched it, and very nice design what she came up with. But this is a pair here. We just took a primary and a secondary and glued them together, and same thing here. We have a primary and a secondary glued together. We painted it, which is what we did here. And once you paint the leather and you cut them, they're going to be one of a kind. It's going to be hard to duplicate them unless you have a stencil that you're using, but it is almost impossible to duplicate them if you're hand painting. And this is another piece that's hand painted. And basically what we do is that we just come up with a shape, and the shape can be whatever you want it to be. You can square it off, it could be round, it could be triangle. It's whatever you want it to be. Just for example, I'm just going to take this. And I know that a lot of people are wearing large earrings, so I'm just going to use this as my template shape. This will be my template shape, and I'll just cut this out. And one thing I always try to tell people, that everything that you do, well, most everything that you do when it comes to this type of craft, you're following a line. You're going to start off with a line, whether it's making your pattern, okay, so I will cut this out, then I will take this, and I'm going to use this piece of patent leather. So basically what I will do, I will trace this out. I will trace out two of them. Now also, if you want to make small pieces like this, I've said this in one of the other videos, is that one of the best places to find small pieces of remnants of leather at a good price is at waterhouse.com, and they have the best prices when it comes to buying leather by the pound. And if you ask them to put some bright colors in your purchase, they will try to accommodate you. So basically what I'll do, I will just cut this out. Like I say, you're always following a line. Like I say, it can be any shape that you want it to be. So I will take this. Now what I will do, since I drew out my second pattern, I'm just going to glue it to that. So I'm just going to use the Tandem Leather Factory water base Okay, what I'm using here is the Tandy Leathercraft water-based glue. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm just going to glue I was going to use both sides as padded leather, but I think what I'll do, I'll get another piece of leather, and in that way the earrings can be reversible. So what I'll do, I'll just use another piece, a different type of leather, so it'll be reversible. And that's the thing about doing earrings, is that you can make them to where they're reversible, or you can paint them. You can just give them any type of look that you want. Now, I'm going to let this dry for a minute, and then we will put them together. Okay, now that we have let it dry, we're just going to put these two pieces together. I'll trim it out. Now this process is the same process as making a coin purse or a watch band or a clutch bag. And basically what I mean by the same process is that you're taking a primary and a secondary piece of leather and putting it together. And really this is it. So what I will do, I will now, this is the same as this. Now let's say that I wanted to get a little more creative. What I could do, if I wanted just to put a little red on there. So what I could do, just to give you an example, I could just take this piece of red here and I could glue this on here and give this a totally different look. Now I'm going to show you how to put the hole in it and then put the ring and the hook on it. So this is your earring. You can make it as big as you want, as small as you want. Now what we'll do, we'll punch the hole so you can see how I put the ring in. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to punch the hole. This is a round punch, and you can get your punch at Tandy Leather Factories, and they have them from different sizes, from a 1/16 all the way up to a 1/2 inch open punch. But what we're using the 5/64 of an inch, and you can, the 1/16 will work very, very good because it's very small. So your hole doesn't have to be big, just big enough for your ring to go through. So what we'll do, we'll punch the hole. And what I don't want to do, I don't want to be too close to the top of the earring, but I also don't want to be too far down. Because if I'm too close, I'm taking a chance of splitting the top of the earring, and if I'm too far down, my ring may not be big enough to go through the hole and fit over the top. So I just want to make sure I'm not too far up or too far down. So I'll punch my hole. Now, these are the junk rings that I have, and you can find these at Michael's, Hobby Lobby. You can find them online too, but for convenience, I just go to Hobby Lobby and purchase them. They come in gold and silver. They come in different sizes. I think this is 2 different sizes. I think this one here is this is a 9mm. So I'm not sure if this is like a 10 or a 12, but I'm going to use gold, so I'm going to use the larger one. Now, one of the problems that people have with putting on the rings is that they have a problem of closing the ring back to make sure it's tight, you know, when you close it. Because what happened, just kind of give you an idea. What most people will do is that most people will take a ring and they will open it up this way and try to close it back, but it's not going to close back the way it was. So what you have to do, you have to open it to where you're turning it. You're turning one hand away from you and the other hand towards you. So if I took this ring and I put the pliers in it, and it have this opening in the ring right here. So what I would do, I would turn one hand towards me and the other hand away from me. And when I close it, I just do it in reverse. And it'll close back tight. So what I would do, we're going to use the gold one, and now I'm going to put my hook on, I will put my hook on, and close it back. That did not close back the way it need to, so I'm going to go back. Make sure, like I say, this is the part that most people have a problem. And you want to make sure it's flush together, because if not, that hook will come off. This is your earring. Like I say, you can make it to where it is reversible by using a different type of leather on the back. So, like I said, if I wanted to, I could glue this piece on here, and that'll make that a totally different earring. I could do it like that. I could run it this way. I could turn it downward. And that's the thing about, like I said, with these earrings, is that you can just get as creative as you like and come up with your own unique look. Now, let's say that I wanted to put a bead on. What I will do, now because I don't have a gold pin, I'm going to use the silver. And I'm going to use a pen that have the eye at the bottom. Some have an eye and some is just flat, have a flat head on it. But I'm going to use the one with the eye on the bottom, because with that one, what I can do, I can put a bead onto my earring. So I'm going to use the silver I'm going to use the silver to show you how to do that because I don't have the gold. I'm going to open it. Put it onto the earring. And now what I would do, I would take the pin with the hook on it. I would put it on, close it, make sure that's closed tight. I will close it, and then now what I want to do, I want to put a bead on here. Let's say that I wanted to use, can't use that one. Use this one. Let's say I want to use this bead here, but I still need to put my hook on it. So what I will do is that I will cut off a part of the stem. I only want to keep on enough that I could fold it over. So what I would do, I would put the pliers, I would lay the pliers in my hand with my hand flat out like this, because when I close it, I'm going to turn the pin over. And this is another area where people have a lot of problem with turning that pin. So what I would do, I will put the pliers at the tip of the pin, turn it over, and now I will put my hook on. I will put my hook on, and now I will just close that. That's the earring. But if you look at this and see how this is too far up and how this bead is very loose, that's because that hole is bigger than I want it to be. So what I would do, I'll just cut this off. I would take this pin back off, and I'm going to use a bead that doesn't have such a large hole, or I can use a smaller bead to go on there. Let's do this. Let's use these two. We're going to use these 3 beads here. So I'm going to put this pin on. So what I'll do, I will use this bead, can't use that one, and put this one on. Now what I'll do, I'll just cut off a part of the tip, turn it, put my hook on, close it. That is the earring. Now I'll show you how to do a different style. Okay, I was getting ready to move on to the next earring, but I was looking at the colors, beads that I put on here, so I think what I'm going to do I'm going to just take some of this patent leather here because I like the color of the beads, and I'm just going to just kind of come up with something to put on here. Just to give it some definition. And I'll just use the contact cement glue to glue this. Just to give the earring a look, some definition. You know what? I'm gonna put a little more. Put this on here. I just want to just kind of give you an idea of how you can just create something and have your own look. And this is what I mean by you don't have to worry about it being a problem with showing somebody else what you do and how you do it, because they're going to do it their way. Now just that can make such a big difference in the earrings. Okay, so now we'll move on to a different pair. Okay, now that we have this earring made and all the rest of them that we do in leather, the process is pretty much the same. One of the things we will do is we will take the leather, let's say we put these two pieces together just like we did here. Well, what we can do is that we can paint the leather, and we just use acrylic paint, and once we paint it, we will finish it. This is a different look. We will finish it with the Mod Podge. After we have it painted, and you can already have the shape cut out before you paint it, or you can just paint a piece and then cut out whatever shape you want. For example, we'll take this. Matter of fact, this here itself could actually be an earring just by putting a hole here, and that'll give you a nice large triangle earring. Or it can be turned this way, or if you want to make it smaller, you can just cut out any shape you want, any size you want. Cutting these out 1 inch wide, 1 inch by 3 inches is what it is. And this right here could be a pair of earrings. Then if I wanted to cut them in half, I can cut them in half and make this, instead of 1 pair of earrings, it could be 2 pair of earrings, which is like what we did here. Now, one of the other ways, and it's the same process, you punch the hole, you put your ring in. If you wanted to put beads on, you could put beads on it. So making earrings is very, very simple. Now, but you can also make the earrings without any leather on it. And it's the same process. This is the same process as making this one. It's just you're not putting the leather on the bottom of the eye hook. Now the other thing is I want to show you is that, oh well, let me show you this. This is a pair we did where we actually embellish the earring. So it's the same thing as this here. It's just been embellished. And if you look at our video on how to embellish, well, you will see the different components that you can use to put on your earring as far as it using different types of embellishment. One of the other ways I want to show you is zippers. You could use zippers to make earrings. For example, we would take a zipper, which would normally zip up and down. We just cut the zipper, and then we just decide on how long we want the earring to be. So I'll say that I want my earrings to be this long. So what I'll do, I'll just cut it out. I'll just cut the zipper, cut the other side, and then what I will do, I will use contact cement glue to glue it. And you may even want to use, there's some people use this tape. There's some tape that you can use. I think you can get it at like Joann's, double-sided adhesive tape, and you can put it together like that if you don't want to use glue. But I always use the glue. I just glue it, take the two, put them together like this. Then after I glue it, I'll just trim it. And if you want to stop the end of the the end of the zipper from unraveling, you just use a lighter and light the ends, and it will melt the ends and stop it from unraveling. And you just take it and turn it like this, and then you just punch your hole, put your eyelet in it. And if you like I said before, if you look at the video that we did on embellishment, you will see how to put in an eyelet if you want to put in an eyelet. You don't have to, but that's how we kind of give it a finished look. And you just punch your hole in there and put your hook and ring on, just like I did here, and that is your earring. We even put leather on it, so if you want to cut you a piece of leather to put around there, you can add leather to it. Now I would recommend that you sew the leather to make sure that it stay on there, because if you just glue it, I'm not sure if it'll stay. But it doesn't have to be leather. You can glue on, you can get magazine clipping and glue it on and use the Mod Podge to seal it. One of the other things that we use is we will use tree bark. So there's a tree right outside of our window. We will go out, we will get a piece of the tree bark off, and the tree sheds. So we just pull it off or pick up what's on the ground. We'll take the tree bark, we'll cut it, and take the Mod Podge. When you put the Mod Podge on, what it does, it seals it and it also gives it a shine. And we will punch the hole. We will use an awl to punch the hole, and you can get those at Tandy Leather Factory, and they come in all different sizes. And you can I would get the one that have the thinnest blade on it, which would probably work better, which is the 3217. I think this one works the best. If you get that, you're able to punch the hole in your tree bark. You can use that to punch the hole in your leather. Now, one of the other things we do, we will take oranges, we will cut them in half, cut into 4 pieces, and then we will make earrings out of the orange peels. And basically what we will do, we will cut the orange and eat the inside, and we will let it set for a day. This one was cut yesterday, not this one here, but this one here was cut yesterday. And what I did was that I punched a hole. I have a hole punched here. I punched the hole first and then put Mod Podge on it and let it dry. This one have Mod Podge on the back side, not on the inside. This one do not have Mod Podge on it. But what I will do is that I will put Mod Podge on the inside, and then I will put, if I decide to put a bead on it, I will go ahead and put my bead on it. So what we have tested and see how many pair of earrings we can get out of a grapefruit. We was able to get 10 pair out by cutting the peel in half. So we was able to get 10 pair of earrings out of one grapefruit. And if you do the math, and if you sell those earrings at $10 a piece, so you can take a 99-cent grapefruit, eat the inside of the grapefruit, use the peel, make 10 pair of earrings, and make $100 off a 99-cent grapefruit, and still eat healthy. So this is some of the ways that we make earrings, but whatever you use, the process is the same. This is the main process of the earring, is this part here. So whatever you use down here, it's really up to you, but the process, all of this process here is the same. There's no difference. Now this is the last one I want to show you. Well, there's 2 more. I want to show you this one here. This is one that we just took a circle. So if we took this circle here and then just cut it, you just cut it round, and you can end up with a pair of earrings like this. One other thing I want to show you is leaves. You can take a leaf, put Mod Podge on it, and put a piece of leather on the back, trim it out, put your eyelet in, and now you can make earrings out of leaves. And just think of how many leaves that we bag up and put out on the curve and trash them. So that's money that can be made off of those leaves. So I hope that this is some help to you. Oh, let me show you one more thing. The other thing I want to show you is, in making the earrings, you can use that same process and make something that can go around the neck by cutting a piece of leather as the holder, or you can even use a chain to hold it. And basically what you can also do is just use a ring, and then whatever you're going to use, leather or a chain, and you just put it through the ring. And like I said, there are larger rings that you can also get if you want a larger ring. So I hope that this was some help to those of you who do not have a sewing machine and want to be able to make some products that you can start selling. and hopefully that you can sell some products and purchase that machine that you would like to get. Or you just want to just make different types of products that you don't want to sell. So anyway, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe, and if you know anyone else that would like to watch this, pass this on to them. And thank you for watching.